Trying to find my guest. Wow. It's not bringing her up. Oh, there you are. Okay. All right, I see you. I'm trying to invite you to join me. Let me see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. See. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Is the lighting okay? Looks like the glare
Yeah.
on my glasses.
Okay. Me too. Mm.
Glasses problems.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for joining me.
Oh yeah, no
Mm.
problem.
Yes. So, do you have anything to? Well, first of all, tell us who you are, Dessie. Dessie is an amazing woman. She's gonna tell us about herself.
I'm Dessie. I'm 29. I'm from Texas. I like astrology and baking. Um, and that's about it. It's like when somebody says, tell me about yourself."
I mean,
Uh,
it's so awkward. I always think that too and be like, quick, what do I do? Like, I don't know.
yeah. Okay.
Well, thank you. Yes, Dessie's an amazing baker. She's really cool.
I try.
She's into astrology. So yeah, she's gonna talk to us about that today. Do you have anything to create with us?
Oh yeah. I can do
Okay.
something. Let's see. I got some paper.
Cool.
Yeah. I got a
Mm.
blank
Okay.
canvas.
Yeah. Sounds good to me. All right. Well, let's get it. I got some tea to drink. You said you got anything special to drink?
Okay, yeah, I have my adult beverage here.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That sounds good.
What kind of tea are you drinking?
It's just like just herbal tea.
Oh, okay, okay,
Mm.
okay. All
hmm
right.
So we're gonna get into it. So can you tell us how you would define astrology? Like I usually just think of it. Well, I used to just think of it as like zodiac sign, but I know that's not all it is.
No, that's not all it is. It's more than that. Astrology is just um, the looking at the planets and interpreting the energy from the planets.
Okay.
That's how I would define astrology. But it's very complex.
hmm
Yeah.
So when did you get into it?
Um, let's see, about 20, I don't know, about a few years ago, 6 years ago, maybe 5 years
Okay.
ago. Yeah. So I just got in and out studying it. It's a lot to
hmm
learn.
Yeah, it is a lot to learn. I even get overwhelming. Like it get overwhelming. Like so, what made you get into it? You're just like, okay, well, I want to find out more about that, or what sparked the interest.
Yeah, I guess I was just on this kind of spiritual journey and I was listening to podcasts that talked about it, and someone mentioned your
Mhm.
moon sign. And I was like, what is your moon sign? I've never heard of that. And so
Right.
went for a deep dive down to what
Mm-hmm.
that was
Okay.
and never went back.
Yeah. So there's a quote by Carl Jung that says, wealth and spiritual psychology is the sum of all things. Do you think astrology is like that, like the sum of everything? Or can it just be put into one practice? Like, is it psychology or is it more spiritual?
Oh, that's a good question. It's definitely not the sum of everything. It would be spiritual. Um, yeah, it'd be more spiritual.
Okay. Yeah.
But
I
I
think I
definitely
know.
don't agree that it's the sum of everything. Yeah,
Okay.
because we all have free will, so
Right.
that can't be the sum of everything.
So I guess just another way to interpret everything.
Yeah, right. Using the
Mm-hmm.
energy from the planets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that it should be looked at as more of a tool rather than just this is what it is and that's it. Just a way to understand stuff. I guess I would hope that people would look at it like that instead of just being like, okay, well, this is just some stuff that I can't really get into or understand. Like,
Mm-hmm.
cool, like don't let it overwhelm you just because there's a lot of information.
Yes. Yes. There is a lot of information. Um, but once you get into it, I mean, you start to understand and see how it unfolds and manifests in your life. So then it's kind of hard to
Mm,
not look at that or use that as a tool. It's definitely not the end all of tools
right.
because we can do what we
Yeah.
want.
I think I agree too. Like once you learn about it, it's just like you can't not
Mm,
acknowledge in some way.
right.
At least for me, that's how I feel. Because I did at one point, like I was into it like really, really heavy, like to the point where I was obsessed with it. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Have you ever been, or do you know anyone who's ever been like that, like really heavy into astrology and maybe not even ready for what it brings mentally? Have you ever seen that?
I haven't seen that. I don't really know many people personally that are into astrology because I wasn't brought
Hmm.
up into that. I was brought up into the church, and astrology is definitely evil. So,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know anyone personally, but I mean, it's easy to get yourself wrapped up into it if you don't take it with a grain of salt. I
right.
always tell myself, take it with a grain of salt because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
And it
you just
doesn't really
don't.
predict anything, it's just interpreting the energies from the planets.
Hmm.
And yeah.
And see, I okay. Well, let me ask you this first. Where did you start looking for the information from? Like, 'cause there's so much out there. Where did you start?
Just researching, honestly.
Mhm.
Just you really have to use your own discernment because there's a lot of there's a lot of misinformation.
Right.
You have to use your own discernment. And like you said, you kind of do have to be in the right mindset because you can follow the wrong people and they're giving you the wrong information. So you do kind of have to
Mhm.
be in the right mental mindset and have that discernment for yourself to know that you are getting the right information. Because I'll watch different astrologers and they'll say something totally left, and I'm like, y'all you ain't saying nothing right. I can't watch you no more. So yeah, I mean, you just really have to use your discernment and really your vibe. I mean, if you hear, you know, or you see something and you get a feeling about it, it's probably
Mm-hmm.
not right. So don't listen to it. Don't feed into it.
Yeah.
You really have to use your discernment when research.
Huh. You're right.
Yeah.
And that's interesting that you brought up the religion aspect because I was brought up in the church too,
Hmm.
and that's what I was taught. Like, don't look at stuff like that. It's evil. That's the devil.
Hmm.
Hmm. So it just wait. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah. So it was just like stay away from that stuff. We praise Jesus, and that's it. That's the only star we know about. So I was just like, there's stuff out there, like this planet, the Earth is here, like it's a huge planet, like we should know
Right.
more about it. So
Hmm.
I just wish that more people would not, yeah, just give it a chance, like just
Yeah.
learn a little more about it. Like I feel like it will help people learn more about themselves and their environment. Do you think it can help people do the same?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, the moon is based off the water tides. So, I mean, just
Mm,
learning about what the moon does to your emotions, is just that that helps.
right.
Learn about yourself, learning your moon sign and what energy that gives off. So,
Hmm.
most definitely, that should
Yeah,
that would help
yeah,
others.
for sure. So
Yeah.
with with the religion, like, did you ever experience? Well, I know you just said you experienced a little backlash, but how do you handle stuff like that and just keep trying to figure out what's best for you instead of focusing on like, oh, my family doesn't like this, or mm,
I just because I know what I know. I know
right.
what I've experienced and how it has helped me. So
Hmm.
I can't blame someone else for not seeing what I'm seeing. So why be mad
Yeah,
at them for being mad at me? It just doesn't make sense. It just causes this whole bad vibe. I mean, if they're going to
right.
be, if I'm going to be put down for liking astrology, I mean, I can put them down for something. It's like, then that doesn't make sense. Or why would we stoop down and be so low to each other? So, I mean, I just don't, I honestly, I don't, like I said, I see I know what I know,
Hmm.
and I've seen it manifest in different ways. So I just don't let it bother me. And sometimes it just, like you said, some people don't want to learn about it. So
Hmm.
why even force someone to try to understand if you don't want to learn about it? You know?
Yeah,
So yeah, the backlash is going to come no matter what you do. So
that's true.
do what you want to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
might as well enjoy yourself because you're right. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna happen regardless if you like astrology or
Anything. You
research.
like
Like, it's
grapes and the
no,
next person don't like grapes. I mean, it don't
ex-
matter. It don't matter. We all got to be here anyway.
exactly,
Don't matter.
exactly. So, have you ever heard of medical astrology?
Hmm. Medical astrology. I mean, no, I wouldn't trust a medical astrologist.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust it. I mean, it's in astrology, but
Hmm.
it's not determined. It's all energy that it's interpreted.
Right. Yeah. See, that's what I was thinking too when I was researching as well. I was like, okay, medical astrology. I feel like that would be kind of used to manipulate people more so instead of helping them.
Right.
Um, so again, if you're gonna get into it, just
Yeah.
go with your well, I mean, I don't know, I don't want to say go with your gut because you gotta evaluate if you're in the right space
Right.
to
Use that
even be
discernment.
jumping into this. Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely. Because the first time I jumped into astrology and stuff. Like like I said, I got carried away with it. It was really bad. Like it wasn't good.
Oh yeah, you
So
got really deep into it.
yeah, it was not good. Like it was not good.
Uh,
Like and I was just getting the information like just not from good places, like not reliable sources
mm,
and stuff like that. So it was just not a good time. It was a rocky time in my life. So I
mm,
was more so looking for different answers instead of, like what this can do for me or help me figure out in myself. I was just like, oh, well, this was me. So, like, it was just too much.
mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It can be
definitely.
overwhelming because it's a lot of
Hmm.
information coming at you at once. But
Yeah,
you really got to use that discernment.
definitely. Like, so I know we talked about how it can, like, we have to use discernment, and it still can be used as a tool, but only if we're open and decide how that can work for us. Do you think it could scare some people off sometimes with like, oh, okay, for example, I'm an Aquarius, so I have to be standoffish. Like, do you think that's how it could be negative if you use it to just, I guess, predetermine stuff, like,
Hmm.
or predict like how this is gonna go, or okay, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's see. Well, I mean, because it's deeper than that. I mean, it's so much more complex than, saying someone's an Aquarius.
right,
It's so much more complex. So, um, I would say that's toxic, I guess. to think
okay,
to think that, or maybe even would I say ignorant to think that? But I
right,
mean, if you're really wanting to learn it, then you wouldn't think, oh, I'm just an Aquarius. I have to act like that, you know,
right,
because you would really know. And I mean, if you really dug deep into your birth chart, then you would know that you're not just an Aquarius, but you're a rising
mhm,
Scorpio or something. And
right,
that's aspecting something else. And that's why you're like, it's not just you're an Aquarius.
yeah.
So,
See, and then birth charts, like that's a whole another story. Like, can you tell us a little bit
yeah.
about what that is?
Oh my goodness. Long story short, it's just a picture of the sky when you were born.
Okay,
But it's very, very deep to get into. Um, yeah, to get into birth charts.
yeah,
You
it
hear
is a
all night.
lot. It's a lot to get into, like you said. Like, it's you got to know the times, the exact birth. It's
Hmm.
a lot. Yeah.
It's like peeling back an onion. You learn one thing, and then you have to learn another thing, and
Hmm.
it's a lot to learn. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of different parts. So
Hmm.
definitely, if you're not ready for some deep diving, don't do it. And would you say too, like it's a continuous process. Like you're not gonna know everything. It's
Mm-mm. No,
not fast paced, right?
no, it's not a one class thing. It's always
Yeah.
forever learning because the planets are always moving and
Hmm.
there's always a transit happening. So you really dive deep into it once you get to know it. But then you have to use your discernment
Hmm.
and not
Hmm.
listen to everything.
Right. And too, like I I enjoy learning more about it because, or studying it more because it just teaches me that it's just to keep moving. Like not, I don't have to stay stagnant. Like the stars are moving, the planets is moving, everything is moving. So
Hmm.
who am I to just stay like this or think I have to stay the same or everything's changing.
Yeah.
So it's a good thought to keep in change.
Yeah.
So if someone wanted to get into astrology or they were a little interested or maybe afraid, what would you say to them?
Hmm. I would tell them to first get your birth chart and go from there. If you really want to learn astrology, get your
Mhm.
birth chart and learn what your rising, sun, and moon is, and go from there. And most importantly, learn where the houses are, learn where your sun is, learn where your moon is, because those are your main focuses in life.
Mhm.
So that's what I would tell someone if they really wanted to learn about it. Oh.
And then like we said there's a lot of information out there, so where's the what's like one reputable source you would suggest? Or is it just like you have to really just search for yourself? Because I know there's like plenty of people on YouTube and
Mm-hmm.
there's millions of people on YouTube
Oh,
claiming they're astrologists and stuff. So you gotta be real careful. So where would you suggest like people start?
I would start. A good place to start is the Astrology Podcast, and that's what it's called. It's on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, Spotify. If you really would like to learn, they really do a deep dive into every planet, and they're good astrologers. They're not just BS astrologers. They won't just tell you things you want to hear, and it's not BS. If you really want to, but I mean, if you're just having fun, I mean, you could search a YouTuber and look up, oh, what does my rising sign mean? And that
Mm-hmm.
you could take, and with a grain of salt, of course,
Right.
and do that. But yeah, the astrology podcast would be a good place to start.
Okay. Yes. Notice you said with a grain of salt. Do not take everything so literal.
Mm-hmm.
Start listening to this stuff and you're gonna have a million questions. So definitely too, like maybe if you want to get a book, make sure it's up to date, book or two, look into what these different terms mean. So you're not just like, oh,
Yeah.
my rising, all these different things, like you don't even know what it is. So of course you're gonna get overwhelmed and confused, but definitely just give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a try. And there's one more question I want to ask you. So within the last 2 years, there's been a rise in interest in astrology. Why do you think that would be? Like maybe two reasons.
I would say the age of Aquarius. It probably could be true. The age of Aquarius, everyone's interested in astrology and cults
Mm,
and the outer world
right.
space and stuff. So, I mean,
Yeah.
you could say that, or you could just say people are looking for more to believe in because they're saying that other stuff isn't quite matching up with their beliefs.
Right.
And I wouldn't say that astrology is like a religion or a belief, but I mean,
Hmm.
it's something,
Right.
something, then
I
nothing.
agree. Yeah, like another outlet, like you said, just I honestly think it's because of a lot of stuff going on. Like you said, people need something to believe in and something that they can, I don't know, I don't want to say feel like they're controlling, but something that shows them like, hey, I'm not totally out of it, or this is connected to this, so I must still be okay, or everything with the pandemic, like a lot people's lives and perceptions have gotten turned around, to be like, what is reality for real?
Yeah, yeah,
So it's how I guess it's helpful. It's a way to be grounded.
yeah,
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 for sure.
yeah. And I mean, the planets just have energy anyway. So I mean, once you once you learn that, you start to think, oh well,
Mhm.
astrology has some truth to it, a little truth, I guess.
Right.
So people just grabs onto that too.
Hmm. Hmm. It definitely is a lot to cover and get into. So I thank you for, you know, sharing more about it and helping us understand it a little bit more.
Oh yeah, there's so much more to so much more
Yeah,
to understand about astrology.
definitely. Yeah, I think this is a good place to start though. I like okay, I wanted to ask you as well, and then I'll let you name my piece and you can go. Um, but do you think that if people were to learn more about, I don't want to say zodiac sign, like about their placement
Mhm.
with the stars, like
Yeah.
if they were to learn more, do you think that would help them build a better relationship with themselves and make better mental health practices?
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, I wouldn't say in the mental health aspect, but I
Okay.
mean in
Yeah.
a just in a spiritual aspect, I would say it's more spiritual, but not because it's a pseudoscience. So it's not quite spiritual, but it has its spiritual practices, with the full moons and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. But I wouldn't use it for a mental health
Yeah, I
thing.
agree.
Yeah, it wouldn't be good. It'd be very toxic
Yeah.
to do that.
Trust me, I know. It's not, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do it. But like you said, spiritually, yeah, it could definitely help you check in with some stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like a good check-in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure. But I don't think as well. It's not a good, just because you're a Pisces or whatever doesn't mean that you have to go running at 5 a.m. to be like, like
Right. No,
certain
yeah.
things. So,
Because not everyone's going to be exactly like that, emit that type of energy. Everyone's going to
right.
be on their different energies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what, yes, 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 definitely. It helps you check in with what's going on with your energetic field, for sure. For sure.
Mhm.
I think so. Well, is there anything else that you would like to share with us about astrology?
I would just check it. I recommend it. I definitely 10 out of 10 would recommend it. If you want to learn about it, check out the astrology podcast. I'm still learning about it in the beginning stages. I learn something new every single day. So I mean, you could always learn something new from it. Ooh, that's very pretty. Pretty
Well,
color.
thank you. Yes, please
Oh,
name it.
nice.
Thank you.
Very, very nice.
What would you call
Name
this one?
it. Oh my
Mm,
goodness. Name her Venus.
Venus.
I'll call it
Okay.
Venus.
Venus. I'm gonna write
Go
that
with
right
the
there.
because Venus is very artful. That's what the planet of Venus means. It's art, and Venus rules Libra and Taurus. So
Oh,
there's a little information.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Nice.
there's
I
that.
like that. I like that. Did you finish your sketch?
Oh, I did a I did a doodle.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call that everything.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All
I'm gonna
right.
call it everything. Well, thank you again so much, Dessie. I appreciate this. I really do.
Yeah,
Always have a
thank you
good
for
time
having
talking
me.
to you. You're so
Maybe we could
welcome.
do a part two or something.
Yeah, for sure. Cause
Talking
I need to
about
know
like the
more.
planets.
Right.
Yeah, because
For
we got the
sure.
introduction, then we can go to part two.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yeah, yeah,
Definitely. I would love that. Cause I wanted to ask you, like, yeah, let's dive into that. Cause
yeah.
we're gonna need more than an hour to talk about all that.
Oh, for
For sure.
sure. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Thank you
So
for having me.
you are so welcome. See you later.
Bye.
All right, everybody. See you later. I'm taking a little break for the summertime. So I'll see you guys in September. Enjoy your summer. Until then, peace, love, and paint. Bye.